And I don't wanna be alone, so many fake friends that I know. I'm a local rock star here all by myself, who put me on, wishing that you know.
Welcome back, better investors, to another episode here on the BI Academy channel. And we see that legendary investor Jeremy Grantham is talking about the super bubble and the looming recession that we can see inside of America. So the super bubble, of course, pertaining to the stock market and how the stocks are overappreciated inside of value, and we need to see them come back down to an equilibrium, which is just a more reasonable price that buyers are willing to buy at and sellers are willing to sell at. So it's important to understand exactly what's going on and what is the big problem. Like, why does everybody keep talking about stock market crashing and there being some kind of a crisis? Well, I don't think it's just because the stocks are overappreciated. That's one major thing. But here's the real catalyst. We have a demographic problem where the largest generation of people to ever be born in America, they are passing away, and more importantly, they are retiring, which means that they're going to be taking profits from those different qualified plans like 401ks, IRAs, and Roth accounts. There is not enough investors in the market to buy the stocks in which are being sold by baby boomers. So when they sell, it could cause the price to drop very drastically. When you think of the stock market, you probably think of the S&P 500, which are Fortune 500 companies. These are companies that are the top businesses inside of America, and they employ a lot of the people that work inside of America that do have a full-time or even part-time job. Well, in reality, what's holding up the stock market is only 7 main stocks. So that's going to be Apple, Microsoft, Nvidia, Google, also known as Alphabet, Amazon, Meta, which was formerly Facebook, and Tesla. What this means is that the majority of the market, if we take and say 500 minus 7, there is 493 stocks that are underperforming, or they're simply what we like to call zombie stocks. They're dead. They're businesses that are on the decline, and they're probably going to be non-existent in the future, but right now they're being held up by other stocks and other companies that are doing better than them. So whenever we see some kind of impact to these 7 stocks, we're going to see a major downturn inside of the market because the rest of those stocks are not performing well and they're not doing a good job of creating a profit and being profitable businesses. If you've ever heard of a government bailout or the bailout program or stock buybacks, those are all just different ways of saying companies are being held up by taxpayer dollars. And the reason being is because the government is giving these companies the funds necessary to stay open due to the fact that they employ a large number of people. So even if the company is not necessarily profitable, the government wants to keep employment high so that we as citizens do not have to face the true blunt force of inflation. We have currency moving, and when currency is moving, that helps to cut down on the effects of inflation. Now, more currency entering the system means that inflation goes up. But if we have currency moving and people are making dollars, you're able to buy things at a faster pace, which means you buy it today rather than tomorrow or later when the price goes up. So employment is a very key factor inside of keeping the economy stable. I mentioned before the Magnificent Seven, and if you're looking, a lot of them deal with technology, and especially Tesla. What do we know about Tesla, and what are they most commonly known for? EVs, right? Electric vehicles, and being able to not have to use gas or oil, which is a big initiative of this administration, referring to the Biden administration. And just overall, globally, we're seeing a push towards cleaner energy and a more efficient way of using energy that doesn't cause pollution or destroys the environment. While this might be very virtuistic, that does not mean that the people that actually buy these vehicles feel that same exact way. So based on sales, we can see that most people still prefer their gasoline engine, and they're not ready or willing to convert over to having an electric vehicle. So what are we seeing? We're seeing a massive disappointment when it comes to the sales on electric vehicles, and that impacts technology companies such as Microsoft, such as Tesla, who is not just a technology company, but also they're inside the automotive business creating those electric vehicles. As you may have guessed it, yes, that is going to cause the price of EV stocks to go down. So we're seeing a historic sell-off, with some of those stocks being down 90% from their peaks. So it's important that when we're chasing trends, as a better investor, we have to know when the trend is starting and when is it coming to an end. Understand what affects that trend and what affects whatever market it is that we're invested into. With war on the rise and that narrative becoming more and more common around the world, stocks are being affected by that. One stock and a sector in particular that's doing great is oil. And why do we see that? As stated before, most people simply do not want an electric vehicle, which means that gas is still going to be commonly used. Another reason is because with war breaking out, it's going to cause countries to have trade wars as well. So war is really more economic than it is physical, but we see the physical effects, and that's what does the most damage in terms of people and casualties. War causes uncertainty, and uncertainty inevitably leads to risk. Stocks are risk assets, so you're going to see people start to de-risk and want to search for safe haven assets like gold, silver, and even Bitcoin. This means that certain stocks will still rise, but we could see the overall stock market take a dip and possibly even crash or plummet due to the fear, uncertainty, and doubt that war brings. With that in mind, we see that Bitcoin, which is a commodity like oil and is going to be highly sought out inside of times of fear, uncertainty, and doubt, it's now had its halving, and demand is said to be 5 times greater than supply, which was estimated by Bitfinex. Here is a really great use case and real world utility of the blockchain technology, which is commonly sought and used inside of the cryptocurrency space. That is being able to track something and see it and have it be transparent. How do we validate it? How do we know that something actually happened the way that it was said to happen, and that it is official and it hasn't been tampered or duplicated or manipulated in any kind of way? We can know that by using blockchain technology, which uses math and codes to be able to keep track of consensus in terms of one party reaching an agreement with another party and thereby validating that something actually did happen. It is the original, the genesis, and it has not been duplicated or and somehow counterfeited. This is really important because it impacts people's livelihood in their homes. Nobody wants to be put out of their home due to a deed fraud, which is on the rise and one of the major crimes that's being committed now more commonly, especially with us having a higher rise inside of immigration, and we have a lack of supply when it comes to the amount of housing available versus the amount of people that need shelter. This could potentially crash the real estate market, causing homeowners to lose equity inside of their homes amidst the housing crisis that we're already experiencing now. Thank you for watching this video. If you liked it, be sure to leave a like, subscribe if you haven't already, turn on the notification bell, and also share this video with someone else who could benefit from it. Until the next video, better investments equals a better future, and I'll see you guys inside the next one.
I say I moved on, but I hate it that you gone. Yeah, I stayed out and grind for real. From a panoramic to a drop top, I still haven't signed a deal. I've been through terrible things, I guess still trying to heal. I dreamed the struggle was over, but dream never made it real.